Hey, what's up guys? It's Nelson here with Gadget Hacks, and today I'm going to show you how to tame autocorrect on iOS 7. So while autocorrect usually has its good intentions, it can also mess up a lot. And so I'm going to give you 4 tips on how you can make autocorrect better on your Apple device. So the first one is regarding unusual names. Say you have an unusual name for your dog, or you're trying to type in a name that has origins from another country. Autocorrect might try to fix it. So a way to get around that is by putting the name in your contacts, even if you don't have a phone number. So let's say for this guy that I have a dog, and his name is Cohen. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to type in Cohen. And as you can see, I get John as an autocorrect option. So if I press space, I get John. So I don't want John, I want Cohen. So since it's an unusual name or it's not a very common name, I'm going to go to my contacts and I'm just going to add the name Cohen. Well, that's all you have to add. You don't really have to add anything else other than that. If you want, you can add a picture of your dog if you have one. So let's just say I want to add a picture. There he is, all cute. And there's Cohen. So I press done. So now when I go back and try to type in Cohen, it's fine, it doesn't autocorrect anything. If I misspell it as Cohem, it'll give me Cohen. If I misspell it as Logan, it'll still give me Cohen. So that's the #1 tip on how to get around when using names that are unusual for dogs. You can actually even just add regular words in there. So say you make up words, you can put them into the contacts, and you can put them anywhere in the first name, last name, or the company, and your keyboard will recognize them, and you can type them in. So if you and your friends use words that aren't real, you can put them in there and make your keyboard recognize them. Okay, now for the second tip that we're going to head over to, I'm just going to go to messages and I'm going to use a made-up word. So let's say I want to write Hobocher, and it gives me honoree instead. So let's say I press spacebar, it'll change it, and so now this will recognize that anytime I type that word, what I'm really trying to type in is honoree, but that's not really what I want to use. So what I can do to go back and teach it is to press back, and there you can see that Hobocher, the original word that I wanted to use, is there. So I can just tap on it to accept it. Another thing that you can do is also you can just go all the way back and clear it, and you can see that nothing pops up. So that's the way you teach it. Okay, now for my third tip, we're going to add a shortcut. So I'm going to head over into settings, go to general, find keyboard, and go to shortcuts. So for this one, I'm going to be using a curse word that is really common, and every time I enter it, it changes it to duck or ducking or some sort of variation of that. So let's head over and I'll show you guys what I mean by that. Let's say I quickly type in the F word and I misspell it. There you go, it comes up with ducking. So I never want ducking, I always want the other word. So what I can do in here is add a shortcut. So the phrase I want is the F word. Whoa, it almost spelled it. Okay, so there we go. And then for the shortcut, I type in a word that or a phrase that I usually misspell it with. So I always write this, and so I want to add more because there's a lot of misspellings that I have for it. So you always just type in the actual word you want and the word that you misspell it with, and then you can just keep trying out other ones. Let's say I want okay, so I have 3. I think that should be sufficient. You can add more if you want. So now when I go back and I misspell it, or if I just type in that much, I get the word that I want. And so it's a good way if you type really fast and you always misspell the word, and there's a certain way you misspell it for you to get the word that you actually want. Okay, and finally, the last tip, it's to go to settings. We're going to get out a keyboard here. So we're going to go to general, and you're going to go all the way down to reset, and you're going to see reset keyboard dictionary. So here you have to type in your passcode. I'll type in my passcode. Okay, So when you reset the dictionary, it'll delete all custom words that you've typed in your keyboard, all the things that it has ever learned, all of the autocorrects that you have made or that it's made on its own for you. You can reset all of that by tapping on reset dictionary, and it'll be a clean slate. And so this is only a desperation thing in case you mess up and there's a word that always pops up with autocorrect that you don't want to pop up. This is the final resort sort of thing. So you reset dictionary and you just start all over. And those are some tips that'll help you deal with autocorrect on iOS 7. So that's it. All right, thanks guys.